Today's Leeds news. Georgian goalkeeper linked with move to Leeds. Ilan Meslier potentially on his way out of Leeds. Tyler Roberts expected to stay with QPR. Andrea Radrizzani takeover of Inter Milan rumoured. Leeds ladies back to winning ways. Azzedine Ounahi rejected Leeds. Charlie Cresswell nominated for Millwall Player of the Year. 49ers Enterprises see potential in Leeds. Rodrigo claim. An update on sponsors ban. Morning, folks. Chair here on Friday, the 14th of April. No music today. It seemed to upset a few people yesterday by trying to do something a bit different or add something new to it. So, based on feedback, the music is gone. It'll be standard, normal stuff. And also, just an update very quickly on the channel. Couple of people have been asking whether I consider doing YouTube memberships for additional content and everything else. Based on the feedback that everyone's given in the community tab, I won't be doing that. I'll be keeping the content as is. There is some new content lined up, and it's going to be player profile shorts videos. So, like a short story about Leeds' great players. So that'll be coming to the channel soon. So keep an eye out for that as well. Just a bit of additional content, but it will be free along with everything else on the channel. So nothing is changing, just in case anyone thought it might do. But thank you for the feedback, and I appreciate it. I will always ask the question before I change anything, because I wouldn't be doing this with people that watch the channel. So I'm very grateful for that. There is an absolute mountain of news to get through. So I'm going to try and get through this as quick as we can. We'll cut the waffle and the faff out today, and we'll crack on with this. And we'll start off with the rumour mill. And Leeds are said to be interested in Valencia goalkeeper Giorgio Mamardashvilli. The Georgian goalkeeper, who has 7 caps for Georgia, is 22 years of age and is widely tipped as a very hot prospect of a goalkeeper. He's also been mentioned as a standout for Sevilla this season in La Liga. He has had 45 appearances for them, and he is only 22 years of age. Spanish Laficias.net are claiming that Leeds are very keen on the goalkeeper, and a fee of in and around 35 million might be what's needed to take him away from Valencia. However, he does have a release clause of 85.7 million pounds there. So Leeds potentially looking at a replacement for Ilan Meslier, but Manchester United, Chelsea and Leicester are also said to be very interested in the goalkeeper as well. Speaking of Ilan Meslier, the Times are reporting today that 23-year-old goalkeeper Ilan Meslier might be on his way from Leeds at the end of the season, even if Leeds retain their Premier League status. Chelsea and Spurs have been widely interested in the player, and this morning on Twitter, Ekram Kanur has also backed this claim up by saying that Meslier is planning his next move away from Leeds, and he has said that it's Spurs, Chelsea and Newcastle who are very interested in the goalkeeper. For a goalkeeper that gets a bit of abuse from fans about not being great, it's funny that there's top 6 clubs that are going to probably nip it and try and sign him, or Paris Saint-Germain, who've been interested in him for a while. So that's that one. Ilan Meslier, potentially, not confirmed, potentially. And as everything with rumours should be taken with a pinch of salt and shouldn't be taken uber seriously until it's collaborated by multiple sources and genuine reporters. So moving on, and let's talk about Tyler Roberts. And according to the Yorkshire Evening Post, Tyler Roberts is expected to stay at QPR and make his loan move permanent. Roberts returned to Leeds recently after picking up an injury that looked like it was going to rule him out for the remainder of the season. He has been dogged by injuries again this season, and over the last 3 or 4 years has had nothing but injury problems, which has really stopped his push at getting regular time for Leeds, or in this situation, QPR getting a good run at his time at QPR. However, the move is dependent on QPR remaining in the championship. They are currently sitting in 20th position. It's not looking likely, but Roberts has gone back to QPR, and they're hopeful that he will get some minutes this season. He's got 4 goals in 20 appearances, I think, this season for QPR. So not a huge return, but fingers crossed for him. His injury problems will be behind him after this latest one, and he can get a fair crack at the championship next season with QPR. Moving on, let's talk about Andrea Radrizzani, and big claims today in Bloomberg that Andrea Radrizzani and his Acer group are part of an investment group who are looking to buy Inter Milan for in and around €1 billion, so about £800 million. The 49ers takeover of Leeds in the summer would be important in this, as he would need the additional capital in order to complete the takeover, and the proceeds are likely to be used in the purchase of Inter Milan. Leeds Premier League survival is key here as well, because that gives him the additional revenue, more money in order to maximize his profits in order to take over Inter Milan. And when asked about comments by Bloomberg, Radrizzani, Acer and Inter Milan have all declined to comment. So That usually means something, doesn't it? Let's move on. Leeds ladies back to winning ways yesterday in the WPL Division 1 with a 5-3 win over Hull. It was a lot more comfortable than it sounds. At one point, Leeds going in at halftime 4-0 up. Hull City making wholesale changes at halftime. 2 goals by Abby Brown, 1 by Kat Hamill, 1 by Jess Rossiu, and 1 by Sarah Danby were enough to give the Leeds ladies a win and get them back to winning ways. Comfortably sitting in mid-table in the division, and look likely to be staying in and around there this season. But they've had a successful season with the Shield win, or the Plate win, and a respectable showing in the league this year, and also a very good run in the Women's FA Cup as well. And lucky losing out to one of the best teams in the league in Arsenal. So well done to the Leeds ladies, and fingers crossed things keep going the right way towards the end of the season, and then hopefully a big push next season for them. Moving on, Azzedine Ounahi, a name of a player who was linked multiple times with Leeds after the World Cup that Leeds were monitoring. Nobody knew if Leeds were genuinely interested, if the rumours of a bid are actually true or not. Well, it's come out now in France that Leeds did in fact offer £17.6 million for the player. Ounahi is said to have been the person involved in this who declined the move himself. According to the Guardian's Roman Molina, Leeds were the only firm offer on the table. Napoli had a look but didn't put a bid in place, and Leeds had a £17.6 million offer on the table. However, the player himself has decided, as they quoted, to stay in his comfort zone in France and move to Marseille, which ended up being an £8.8 million bid. But it was the player's decision himself. The player said he didn't want to go. So another player at the last minute decided not to go to Leeds. Something in that. Charlie Cresswell has been nominated for Millwall's Player of the Year. You know what to do. Head over to Millwall's Twitter account, get on that link, and you know what to do. Well done to Charlie. He's had an absolutely brilliant second half of the season, a really tough first half of the season, but that builds character. He's shown that he's a goal threat, but now he's really shown that he's a really strong defender for Millwall as well. I'm delighted to see the second half of the season he had, and the character that player shows is just getting better and better and better, and look forward to seeing him come back to Leeds next season. Moving on, let's talk about the 49ers. And according to the Athletic, 49ers enterprises believe that Leeds could be worth upwards of £1 billion within the next couple of seasons. This is 10 times what Leeds were valued at when the 49ers came into Leeds 5 years ago. They say that Leeds' status in the Premier League or the Championship will not impact or should not impact the takeover, but that they can realise the potential of Leeds quicker if they remain in the Premier League. So Leeds' survival will be nice to see this, influx of cash maybe come in during the summer and a bit more stable management of the team. Parag Marathe getting a huge amount of praise over with the San Francisco 49ers fan base around his management of contracts and how he deals with the financial rules that are in the NFL to bring in new players and to strengthen the 49ers. So, he'll have to do that again with Leeds with the financial fair play stuff as well. But, looking forward to seeing what he can do there. Now we are very much entering a pinch of salt territory. I've seen people react really negatively to this online. And what I would say is, if you don't believe Football Insider when we're linked with players, you shouldn't believe in Football Insider if they're saying Leeds players are going to leave. That's the caveat for this. So, however, according to Football Insider, Leeds have made a verbal agreement with Rodrigo to sell the player at the end of the season should Leeds get relegated. The 32-year-old has expressed that he does not want to play in the Championship, which you can't really blame him. He wants to be a Spanish international, and again, he wants to push back into that team. He won't do that in the Championship. But Rodrigo is out of contract at Leeds at the summer of 2024, so Leeds will need to make a decision this summer should they stay in the Premier League, either to offer Rodrigo a new contract or to sell him with 1 year remaining on his deal at that stage. So, but again, as I say, huge pinch of salt with that because it's coming from Football Insider and they're very hit and miss with stuff. So it's their sources also that are claiming this. Last one on the outgoings, Adam Forshaw, Football Insider, again, pinch of salt, are claiming that Forshaw will not be offered a new contract at Leeds and will probably leave the club in the summer. It's been really unfortunate for Adam Forshaw. I'm a big fan of him. I like how he plays football. I like how he keeps it simple. I think Leeds would have been better this season if they'd had him as an option to play in certain games as well. But unfortunately, dogged with injury. We talked about this last night on the American Leeds podcast about the legacy maybe of the Bielsa training regime when you look at Bamford, Cooper, Ayling, Forshaw, and the injuries they've had consistently, Roberts as well, the injuries they've had consistently over the last 2.5 seasons. So unfortunately, looked like the bodies just weren't capable of maintaining that level for as long as they needed to. So it's really unfortunate. Adam Forshaw, for all of the stick that he can get, is a very tidy footballer, and I like him. Hard tackling midfielder who can pass the ball. So it's a real shame, but I hope he can make an impact in Leeds towards the end of the season. He did make the bench against Crystal Palace, and we'll have to see. Right, second last thing today is we'll start off with the under 18s are in action tonight at 7 p.m. Against Liverpool, away against Liverpool, 7 p.m. in the Liverpool training ground. The game is live on LUTV if you want to get some under 18 action in your viewing pleasure tonight. So there you go with that one. And then the last one, just an update on yesterday's news article about the Premier League gambling sponsorship. Premier League clubs voted unanimously in favour of the voluntary ban on gambling shirt sponsors. Again, the caveat on this is this only relates to this part of the shirt. The gambling companies can still appear on the sleeve, but no longer on the front. This won't kick in until the 26-27 season, so it's 2 full seasons before this kicks in. And as far as I'm aware, Leeds deal with SBO top finishes before then. This is designed to give clubs who have got gambling sponsorships a chance to get new financial deals in place, and maximize the potential they can from their shirts. So it won't kick in until then. But as I said, the gambling companies can still appear on the sleeve of the shirt. Right. That's 10 minutes of round robin news. And that will do us for today. I might come back tomorrow with a live stream tomorrow evening, depending on things, and do a preview for the Liverpool game. But if you're not into that, don't worry about it. News will be back here on Monday. So, press conference kicking off at 1 o'clock today. So I'm time stamping this at 11:45. So have a great day. Have a fantastic weekend. Fingers crossed for something against Liverpool on Monday, but I'll be back before then on Monday to have a chat about the news on Monday. Have a great weekend. Talk to you then.